Hello and welcome to a Let's Play video. I'm John and I will be bringing you Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. Released on September 1st, 2015 by Konami, this video game is the latest in the Metal Gear series created by the famous game developer Hideo Kojima. In this video, I'll be discussing aspects of the game that truly make it its own. Kojima productions are known to be story-driven, and this one is no exception. I'll be discussing the main narrative of the game and how it is delivered. Though aside from the story, this game is first and foremost an action-adventure, and I'll showcase aspects of the game that truly make it such a genre. In addition, I'll also go over its interesting business model of combining a traditional game sales model with a newer DLC sales model that has been on the rise as of late. Now, the Metal Gear series has a long-standing history, with the first release dating back to 1987 as a video game for a specific Microsoft computer. Ever since, this series has evolved and continued to deliver hit games. All of these seemingly have an interconnected story that enabled the series to create its own world and history.
V has come
And here,
to.
in this video, we're looking at its latest iteration, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. So let's begin with the narrative. Metal Gear Solid 5, which from now on I'll refer to as MGS5, it does narrative very well. The Metal Gear series is renowned for its stories, and previous Metal Gear games are known to have incredibly long cutscenes, with the previous iteration MGS4 holding the record for the longest cutscene sequence at 71 minutes. In MGS5, the cutscenes are toned down a bit. Though with that said, they can still be pretty long and there can be a lot. The cutscenes are the game's primary delivery of storytelling. The narrative progresses in a linear fashion initiated through missions. Exposition is delivered through cutscenes and the story begins with the rescue of the main character, your introduction to the character's background and the overall setting. Your first actions with the game is straight to battle as you escape the hospital that is under attack. As you can see here, it gets pretty intense right away, which in my opinion works well to hook you straight in. You play as Big Boss, also known as Punish Snake or Venom Snake. It's set in 1984 at the two major settings of Afghanistan and the Angola-Zaire border. Big Boss is the head of a mercenary group called Diamond Dogs, which has an offshore base that you are able to grow and expand as you progress through the game. You can see the base here. It's called Mother Base and you pretty much are the boss of the whole thing.
What should I do?
Now, the actual story progression you complete through missions. You have the ability to just explore around, and you can start the missions when you want to. Therefore, the narrative is episodic, as each of your mission is one episode that adds to the story. It's even complete with an end credit scene telling you that that portion of the narrative is complete, and you are again free to roam. The progression of the story can be slow and sporadic, since you can do a lot of other things besides just the mission. There are side missions you can do, which doesn't necessarily add too much to the narrative, but it paints a better picture of where your character stands. Another reason why the story might progress more slowly is due to the stealth aspect of the game. Even though it is an action-adventure, the Metal Gear series likes to slap on its own category of tactical espionage action. This adds the whole stealth factor into the game. You can do the traditional things of an action game, with lots of shooting, killing, destruction and such, but also as an adventure it has quite a large map for you to explore. This includes using different forms of transports or even a horse. As such, we can see why this game is classified as an action-adventure game, and would cater to those motivated both by action and exploration. Though there is also some catering to those motivated by strategy, since you sometimes have to complete missions in stealth. You would have to strategize around character walking patterns, building layouts, and the mission itself. If you fail to be stealthy, you might find it gets extremely difficult to do anything with so many people shooting at you. You might find yourself facing an entire army, but it is still possible to brute force your way through missions. Speaking of missions, I want to talk about the gameplay elements and design qualities of this game that really makes MGS5 stand out. Because I feel like this game really threw in a lot of aspects that cater to different people, that it would be hard for people not to enjoy it. Specifically, I think it caters to all types of players as defined in Bartle's taxonomy. These types of players are killers, achievers, explorers, and socializers. First off, you really get the sense of adventure in this game because of its open world, catering to an explorer's sense of wonder. You can move around to so many different places and you're not hindered by locked maps. The place is open for you to explore and it has mimicked reality so well that you don't have to think about what's going to be where. You see a military outpost and you expect it to be guarded. You can also see wild animals roaming the field and plants that you can gather. The mimicry of the real world, especially in terms of graphics, is so well done that players can truly immerse themselves in the game, fully entering the magic circle that can make games so enjoyable. This can also help with the affordance of the game design, that is, the intuitive experience for the player. Systemic affordance and understanding the mechanism of the game is easily attained as it mimics our own world. It doesn't take much to understand what you can and cannot do. Environmental and navigational affordance are easily achieved with the graphics of the game. It enables you to intuitively grasp what sort of things you can interact with and where you might need to go. We have the Fox game engine developed by Kojima Productions to thank for this, in which one of their selling points was a real-world time and weather management. There are sunsets and sunrises as well as varying weather conditions, as you can see here. Moving on to other aspects, we have the Mother Base, center of Big Boss's operations. With you being at the helm of this place, you're responsible to developing the base and making sure you've recruited people to run the place. There's also material gathering out in the field to ensure that the base has resources for development. There's even a way of extracting people directly to the base using a balloon system, which they call Fulton, and it can take people, animals, vehicles, and equipment back to the base. I think this really caters to achievers, where players can really try and go for achieving all the base upgrades and recruiting the best people. There's also level systems attached to this to really drive it home in terms of achievements. And we depart the base to go on missions. I don't think I need to explain why this caters to the killing type of players. Your missions tend to have a lot of killing, and a lot of thrill going against an entire military outpost. In pretty much all cases, you're pitted against so many soldiers that it's really tickling the itch of those trigger-happy players. Though in addition to just you against all these enemy soldiers, come what I think could be what might cater to socializers. You have buddies that can help you on your mission. Though this is limited to a dog, a horse, a superhuman who won't even talk to you, and a pair of robot legs. Even though it's limited to these, you still have the ability to develop bond with the horse, the dog, and Quiet, the superhuman being. I don't even know what she is, to be honest. Socializers on occasion enjoy interaction with computer-controlled characters with personality. In addition to the buddies, the AI behind what seemingly are random soldiers can be pretty extensive. You can often overhear conversations between soldiers, and they just seem to be normal conversations. The game does well to really give personality to random soldiers who you might have just thought as run-of-the-mill, faceless NPCs.
Может, нас запишут на тренировки с ними?
Ага. Новая необкатная техника. Практический отпуск. Мечтай больше.
With all of these aspects, the game overall can appear pretty daunting and seem too intense. However, I find that there is a pretty good balance of simplicity and complexity. To begin with, it is very intuitive and you are taught through tutorials what you should do. The basics are simple enough in the sense of a point-and-shoot game. As you progress through the game, there's an emerging complexity that adds challenge. These complexities don't come up all at once, it grows organically. And so I feel as if this is a good combination to the simplicity that you grow accustomed to.
Look out, boss. Take cover. There's a laser sight trained on your head.
Overall, I think the complexity of the game truly make it its own, even in its own series. I don't think I've played other Metal Gear games that has had this level of complexity. It's initially focused on the narrative as it is the core to any Metal Gear game. but grew out of it to deliver a variety of aspects that are in tune with what is popular in these times. And I think this is the underlying business model that has allowed it to succeed very well and receive such high praise and ratings. The game, first and foremost, is a stealth, action-adventure game with a strong core narrative. Its business model is your traditional game sales where you pay outright for the game itself. For that, you get pretty much the whole game. But also, there is the addition of what is becoming more popular with games these days. We have the wait and see kind of games like Tiny Tower, where you build something and you have to wait until it is completed. We see this in the game via equipment development, base development, and soldier deployments. But more than that, we see online multiplayers do well. So MGS5 has added features where you can build what's called forward operating bases, aka FOBs. These are additional bases that give you entry into the online world, where you can invade other players' FOBs and others to yours. Though this comes at a price. As in many games with downloadable content or DLCs, we see a payment system here too, and gaining things that would help you with your FOB missions. In my opinion, these additions have really put this game on a more future-friendly path, because we no longer get the game just for the game. Players want the game to last, and they've added a platform in which you can do just that. Though I don't think they would have had much trouble with making this game last in the first place. It takes a huge amount of your time to progress even just a little in the game. It's hard-packed with so many things that you can't really get bored of it. Though I think this might have been because this was Kojima's last work with Konami on the series. In the end, if this was the work that Kojima was exiting on, I must say it does extremely well. It does not disappoint in serving its long legacy, but also evolving to cater to current standards. I've thoroughly enjoyed this game and look forward to any future iterations. And so, this concludes my Let's Play, albeit more of a game analysis. Thanks for watching, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe!
Don't tell me you took them all out. That's incredible, boss. Our men can rest in peace now.